Hello everyone, I am Silver. It is Monday, December 7th. I'm actually recording this a little bit late in the day, in the afternoon, so good afternoon. A quick welcome back must go out to all returning viewers. If you did tune in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. I also, like I said, I want to say a quick hi to all new viewers. Usually I am not very rambly, but I have a lot to talk to you about, what amounts to about 16 pages of notes. So, yeah, it's time to just grab your drink of choice, your crafting, and then we will continue. We'll go on. Today I'm actually drinking a green tea because I finished my coffee for the day. It's a green tea with peach called from Bigelow. It's actually I really love these teas. So, guys, I'm going to take a quick sip and then we'll go on. Yeah, it'll be better later. I literally just started that steeping. So, anyway, in this episode, I do have FOs or finished objects. I do have WIPs or works in progress. I have X's and O's, Radio GaGa, Silver's book pile, Silver in the case of the screen time, my favorite things, the more you know, which does include some Cal updates, some news, and a few other announcements. Yeah. And then the end of the road. So, like I said, I'm going to take another quick drink and I will move on to the next segment. Alright, let's talk FOs, or things that I finished since the last time we talked. There are a few on this list, so yay! The first thing I want to talk about is what I called my Scrappy Happy Blanket Take 2. These are 11 round blanket squares that I have been making with a G-hook, which is a 4.25 millimeter. These are granny square style squares. I have made a total of 7 squares since the last time I talked. Actually, these will be the last ones that I need for the blanket that I'm working on. It's a matter now of connecting the squares. I think I'm going to try to mattress stitch them. Hopefully I can remember or want to get up the gumption to start this before the end of the month. Wish me luck. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is what I called Hexie Blanket. I have made a total of 44 hexies since the last time we talked. These are actually 5 round hexies up until about 10 stitches per side. Don't have a pattern. I actually found the tutorial for doing these on YouTube, of all things. For this project, I'm actually using miscellaneous yarn scraps. I don't have any of the tags anymore. Sorry. I will try to describe each of them as I go along. A lot of the colors I choose are just whatever I feel like. Any amounts, really. Anyway, I am actually using a size G hook, which actually is a 4.0 millimeter hook. I love this hook, you guys. Oh, and speaking of scrappy blankets, I did start another one since the last time we talked. I'm calling this one simply Cubed Blanket. These are going to be 5 round squares, again, of miscellaneous fingering yarn scraps. I've had so many over the years, and the tags just kind of go missing, as you do. I am also using a size USG hook, which is a 4.0 for these as well. These are 5 round, like I said. I have made a total of 7 of them. My goal for December and January is to make 1 a day. For a while, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how quickly that happens. So yeah, with the 7, that means I've actually finished mine for today, which is good because I'm getting a late start with things. Anyway, the next thing that I have finished since the last time we talked is what I called simply a November DVD socks. This pattern that I used was I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go please socks by CC Allman. I used Desert Wizard Dye Works in the Viso base in the colorway Holiday Striped Cup. I love these colors, you guys. It is so holiday. It's so fast. For this project, I did use a size US1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars. I love these, you guys. Ooh. The next thing that I did finish since the last time we talked, actually, you have not seen at all unless you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and others. This is, again, what I called simply December DVD socks. Started and finished within the first 5 days of the month, which is possibly the fastest I've ever knit a pair of Desert Vista socks. For this particular pair, I did use the OMG socks pattern by Megan Williams. This is a mock gusset heel. I absolutely love the way that it came out. I ended up using Desert Vista Dye Works on, again, the Viso base in the color Somebody's Hanging the Lights. And I did use a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars. I ended up using two 16-inch circulars for both the toe and the cuff, and everything else I was able to do on the 9-inch circ. So, yay! For the short amount of time that it was on the needles, I ended up using my Grinch bag by the Knitted Broomstick. I love this bag, you guys. I only get to use it once a year, or 1 month a year. Oh well. Although, spoiler alert, I might use it for something else down the line. Anyway, this now means that I have finished 12 pairs of Desert Vista Dye Works socks for the year. Oh my gosh, you guys. I had to celebrate that by taking a picture and putting it on Instagram. So, yay. The next thing that I did finish since the last time we talked is what I called Honeydew socks. This pattern was the Iglesia Watsonia socks by Dami of Java Pole Designs. I ended up using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 9-inch circulars, and two 16-inch circulars for the toes, heels, and cuffs on this one. Mostly because the pattern itself is a honeycomb pattern, which has lots of cables and stuff, and I know I am very bad about, well, okay, not bad, but I am very tight knitter when it comes to cables, so I try to allow for that, especially in socks where they really should fit the recipient. He knows who it is. Anyway, I did use Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the Cucumber tonal colorway. Honestly, cucumber is not the color I would call it. I would definitely call it honeydew, hence the honeydew socks. Anyway, the next thing that I did finish was what I called an empty fire for the same recipient as the other ones. I ended up using a toe-up socks with a difference pattern, by Wendy D. Johnson. I ended up using Trekking XXL in the colorway 473. Honestly, the colorway makes it look like a fire, hence the colorway name. It has nice, awesome reds in it. There's orange, a little bit of yellow every once in a while speckled in. It's absolutely gorgeous. No wonder why MPI really wanted that colorway for himself. Anyway, the next thing that I did finish is what I call the Kit Kat hat for me. This is, again, the Kit Kat hat by Undersue Knits. I ended up using Paint Box Yarns 100% wool superwash in the bubblegum pink colorway, and there's a Miss Babs Yowza skein that I had a little bit left over and wanted to use that. I ended up using a size US 6, which is a 4.0 16-inch marbles circulars for those. And yeah, those are fun to make, obviously. Because I also made another Kit Kat hat by Undersue Knits, like I said, that I just simply called large Kit Kat hat 1, mostly the largest size. I'm probably going to be donating this now that we don't need it to do any kind of merches, we're hoping. That's another story for another time. Anyway, I used a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter on 16-inch marble circs. Love, 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 love. And I also, for this one, used Paint Box Yarns Worsted Superwash in the bubblegum pink colorway. Sorry, you guys, there's a lot of FOs, so a lot of talking, and not used to using my voice anymore. The next thing that I did finish is what I called Freddy Cat. Here's a blanket for you. I did not have any kind of pattern that I used on this one. I literally started with a 10 round square of like a granny square and kind of made up a border after that. This has been dipped in catnip for a feline recipient for the holidays. I ended up using a little bit of a remainder of Plymouth Yarn Company hotcakes. The colorway number 6, which is greens, whites, there's some blacks and some browns in there as well. It's kind of a neutral color. I think the intended recipient may enjoy that for a little while, although with their claws, who knows. Anyway, I ended up using a size H hook, which is an 8 hook as well. And for everyone else, it's a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. My crochet hooks are so ancient that it used to be an 8 hook and then it changed to 8. You know how that goes. Stuff changes over the years, right? Gosh, before I start rambling, the next thing that I did finish is, again, what I called a large pink hat. There was no pattern for this one. I kind of had this vanilla hat recipe that I've been using for years, where you cast on 96 stitches and then you just kind of keep going until you're ready to do your hat decreases, and then you just kind of divide that by 8 and lose stitches every other round. Yeah. If you're wondering, it's a knit 2 together that I use because I found this vanilla hat pattern ages ago. I think I just kind of made it up. I can't remember. It's been so long. I've been knitting for 20 plus years. You can't ask me to remember that anyway. I did use Paintbox yarns, again, the bubblegum pink, a little bit more of that for the ribbing, and then for the rest of the hat I ended up using a DK weight yarn. I don't remember the colorway. I'm so sorry. I had the tag at one point. Anyway, and for this one, again, I did use a size 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter. They are 16-inch marble circs. And the last thing that I did finish since the last time I talked was gone so fast that I never really made up a cute little name for it. I simply called them green socks for MDI. Anyway, he knows, don't about it. I did use the toe-up socks with the difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. I also used, again, the US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars. And I used Knit Picks Stroll Tonal in the Canopy colorway, which is a dark green colorway. Yes, a dark green, like an emerald green colorway. And this project was actually housed in my Black Jack Skellington bag by Molly Klein Design. Well, that's a bit. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's talk whips or works in progress. After the finishing kick that I've been on, I only have about 5 more projects that I have kind of been working on in this particular segment. The first one that I want to talk about is what I called a DVD Love Lesson 3. I am using the Granny Stripes pattern by Attic 24. I am using a lot of miscellaneous Desert Vista Dye Works scraps. Basically, I have a full list of the colorways on my personal blog. I may actually list them all soon-ish in the next episode, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I have been definitely making a list of every one that I've been using in the blanket. I am using a size G hook, which is a 4.25 millimeter hook. Yes. I'm getting pretty close to the end of the year when it comes to the scraps that I've been using. I'm about 2 rows into the December colorway because I finished my socks with the intention of wanting to work on the blanket. The next thing that I have been working on is what I call the what's in the bag. I have been making a crochet bag kind of using double, treble, and single crochet stitches and just kind of making it up as I go along. I have gotten to the top of the bag and I am actually making another bottom to kind of put on the inside to kind of shore it up a bit. It's kind of floppy as it is right now. I have not quite figured out how I'm going to put a handle on this bag at all or what I'm going to use it for. Same. Anyway, I am actually using some orange, some black, some purple, and blue Super Saber yarn, mostly all from Red Heart. I don't remember the colorways. I'm actually using the colors double, so I'm actually doubling up on the orange and black and doubling up on the purple and blue. And actually for the false bottom and the top of the bag itself, I'm actually using a combination of pink and yellow, just to kind of give it a pop of color. For this one, I'm actually using a size M hook, which obviously hurts my hands a lot, so I have been taking a lot of breaks, and then when I take a break, I kind of forget about it, so oops. I am crossing my fingers. You can't see it, but I'm actually crossing my fingers to hopefully see if I can get that done by the next podcast. We'll see. Anyway, the next thing that I put, I'd say, I don't know, I put a fair amount of work in, enough to finish up a pattern repeat on since the last time we talked. It's what I call the Crowley will always be a Crowley. The pattern I'm using on this one is the Downton Farewell pattern by Phil Lagerman. And I am using Hue Logo Glitz Sock in the Money Cake colorway. I'm actually using the contrast color that came with it on the heels, toes, and maybe the heels, toes, and cuffs. I haven't quite figured out. I'm actually weighing the ball as I go along to see how much I would need to save for the second sock, etc. Anyway, I'm actually using a size 1.5, which is actually a 2.5 millimeter 9-inch circulars. And then when I get to the heel, I'm going to actually use my two 16-inch circulars to do the heel flap and gusset, etc. Because these are actually cuff down, which is not really my preferred method, but I will use that method whenever there's a pattern for a sock, whatever. Anyway, the next thing that I did start since the last time we talked, and I have been putting a little bit of time into, is what I called evening even star. I got to midway through the first chart and then realized that something was completely off. Not sure exactly where I made the mistake, as I'm only 7 rows into the first chart pattern. So I'm actually going to have to use some pickup floss to just, pick up where I think I messed up. Maybe rip it back to the start of the start of the chart. I don't know. I think I did it all wrong, kind of thing. Yeah. But honestly, I know that this project is going to be worked on for quite a bit. I'm not too worried. It's one of those pieces that I have really had on my needles in my queue for a while. I would have it, rather be done right than over the speed of making the pattern. Oh yeah, you want to know the pattern that I'm using? It's the Even Star Shawl by Susan Pandorf. For this, I'm actually using 2 different skeins of Blue Moon Fiber Arts Silk Thread 2 in the KMBFLA. I won't say the actual name of the colorway, mostly because the site doesn't either. But you can imagine really what it stands for, right? Either way, I am actually using a size US 3, which I believe is a 3.25 millimeter Haya Circs. I started off with DPNs on my rainbow wood needles, DPNs, and then I went up to a 9-inch circular and then up to a 16-inch circular, all Haya Sharps. Problem is, now that I'm gonna have to rip back, I may have to use a 9-inch again, so it's a good thing I found them yesterday, right? Anyway, this is actually being housed in my Outlander bag by the Knitted Broomstick. Okay, and the last thing that I did put a little bit of love in since the last time we talked, and actually is a new work in progress, is what I called simply Pew Pew. This is actually a double knit scarf that I am making for MTI. He knows he picked the pattern, he picked the colorway, so yay! I actually started this and got through the first little chart, minus the little explosion emojis. I'll put a picture up of the actual what it's supposed to look like versus what we have, or what I have so far. I'm kind of worried about the combination of colors, but that's a whole nother animal. I'm actually using Stitch Studio, like their Storybook Fair Isle Coral Mist colorway, and Pound of Stitch's Gentle Gray. The combination looks pretty good on paper. But then when you're trying to do a chart and make the chart pop, I don't know. Just let me know what you think. MTI likes it, so I guess I'm going to keep going. I am using the pattern Old School Space Invaders Scarf by Emily Mitchell, and yes, it is Space Invaders in full with the ships and the little thing that you fire. Anyway, I am using a size US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter carbon straight needles for these as well, mostly because I really like those needles and I wanted to use them for something. And I found it easier to do the double knitting with DPNs, or sorry, with the straight needles. Anyway, I'm actually housing this in my Avon Calling Knit Stitch sweater bag by Mrs. Brown's Bags. I love this bag and I was looking forward to using this bag. Again, this is a project I've had on the horizon for at least a year per MTI's request. So when I got it started, he was a little excited. Anyway, before I start rambling again, I am going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. X's and O's. Yes, I have been working on my In This House ... Doctor Who pattern, Stitch from Stitch area. Again, I'm going to be linking her Etsy shop below and in the show notes. I have managed to do quite a bit on this particular one. I have gotten through the whole bottom section and a little bit into the bow tie on the top. What do you guys think? I absolutely love it. I need you. It's amazing. Oh, okay. I'm literally staring at it. I've got to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Radio GaGa. Alright, you guys, I've been listening to a fair amount of stuff since the last time we talked. In terms of music, I've actually been listening to both the 80s and 90s playlist on Xfinity, mostly because I really like those 2 decades of music. And I've been doing a lot of background work, as you probably see if you're in the Discord and Facebook groups. The next thing that I've been listening to is an album called The Essential Cyndi Lauper. Love this album. And also the Greatest Hits album from Elton John as well. In terms of podcasts, I've been listening to Wine and Crime, My Favorite Murder, Martinis and Murder, The Murder Squad, Verified, and That's What We Drink, and the Knitmore Girls. Have actually been trying to catch up a little bit more on the Knitmore Girls. At one point, this is so sad, at one point I was literally like 14 or 15 months behind. I don't know why. I just kept forgetting to listen. Whoops. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver's book pile. Yes, I've actually finished a total of 7 books since the last time we called. Alright, so yes, I've actually finished 7 books since the last time we talked. The first one was Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I was actually listening to this via Audible. Love this book, you guys. And yeah, the person that reads the book, oh my gosh, so good at doing the Scottish accent sometimes. Anyway, the next thing I finished was an anthology called Love on Main Street. It was put together and written by Bella Andre and a whole bunch of other authors. I don't remember the name of all of them, sorry, and to do so would take forever. Anyway, the next book that I finished was called Falling for Him by Melissa Hart. Also read Gaydar by Tammy Compton, also Exploding in Her Erotica. It's by Temptation Tales. There's 30 individual short stories in there, so it took a bit. Let's see, I also finished reading The Obedience Girl by Mary Bart. Also read Enduring a Love by Carolyn Kinsley. Also, there was a book that I abandoned by Laura Ames called The Assistant. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy the book, so I just kind of gave up on it. Because, life's too short to read books you don't want to, right? Anyway, as to what I'm currently reading, I am actually reading Dragonfly and Ember by Daniel Gambleton, or listening to it more like. And I'm also reading A Rule Against Murder by Louise Penny. I literally just finished the book, the Enduring Love book last night, so yeah. Yes. So, in terms of the Harry Potter seventh book, I've decided I'm going to take a little bit of a break, probably until the new year, with reading a chapter a day and then listening to one of the podcasts that I listen to for it, mostly because I'm still kind of mad at JK for her shit. So, anyway, before I start rambling about that, I'm actually going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. Okay. As you can probably tell, this is the segment that I spent a lot of time with this past month. Been watching a lot of series and movies and stuff. So I have actually been watching Unsolved Mysteries. I got to about the third or fourth episode on that. I've been keeping up with Masked Singer with MTI and I. That's the only one we watch together. I Can See Your Voice. I've been watching every episode of that. I've also been watching Dead Files. Relatively new episodes are coming soon, I think. Also been watching Destination Fear and Ghost Nation on Saturdays. Also been watching Holzer Files on Thursday nights, really late. Love that series. I've actually been rewatching Heroes. I think I'm close to the end of the first season. I also tried a couple episodes of Warehouse 13. Don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's my cup of tea per se, but I'm gonna try later on. I have other things I want to rewatch. I've also picked up recently watching a rewatch of Doctor Who because we do have a holiday special coming up on what is it, New Year's Day. So I wanted to be done rewatching everything by then. Oh yes, and the last one I want to talk about is Supernatural. Oh my gosh, you guys, I still have not recovered from that season finale. As the title of this episode suggested, I pretty much feel like I am now in mourning for the show. Like I couldn't watch any of the. I can't finish my rewatch that I was doing earlier before the season started. Not sure why, but that seems to be the consensus. Is that everyone was having a hard time dealing with the finale. Because if you hadn't known, Supernatural has been on for 15 seasons, so they decided to do a very big tribute to the fans and like kind of wrap up the season itself in episode 19, which was oof. So episode 18, 19, and 20 all got me crying. I am not gonna lie at that one. But yeah, that's all right. Yeah. As to what I've been watching podcast wise, I've actually been watching Creeps with Christine and that's why we drink uh, group there. Also, GGKCS, Stitching the High Notes, The Knit Girls. I've also been watching Stockinette Zombies, Knit and Kitten, Dramatic Knits, also Meditative Crafter, Two Martinity Stitcher, Well and Vine, Unseen Strands, Skeen Deer Knits, also Suburban Stitcher, Crazy Sock Lady, Once Upon a Corgi, uh, also known as Plies, and Hellhounds now, and A Homespun House. A lot of let's see, the last 8 or 9 are also basically I would start watching them after I started watching their Vlogmas episodes. So yeah, in terms of other things I've been watching on YouTube, I've been watching Mr. Reddit a lot. He does these full on almost 3-hour episodes of things that he's read on, obviously on Reddit. So I've also been watching IO, also the top Amazing Top 10 and the other Dark channel, I believe. Also Charlotte Dobre, well as Eamon Hassan, also r slash It's another reading of Reddit stuff. FBE React and let's see. Oh, and Camelot 331. And the last one that I've been watching, I think a lot more this past couple weeks, is Sika Says. She has started doing 2 episodes of Supernatural every week, and also she's doing a Doctor Who December, kind of along the same lines I am, except not rewatching things, but finding new like shorts and things to watch for Doctor Who fans. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to go ahead, take a drink, and double check the row countage on this one, and then I will see you in the next segment. My favorite things. I have 4 different things that I'm going to need to talk to you about in this segment. Relatively short, I promise. The first thing I'm just going to talk about simply is that Mario is a card. A lot of the things that he does in a given month are pretty funny. I'm going to show off a little video here of what he's been up to. No. Okay, the next thing I do want to talk to you about is quite frankly, here in the States, Thanksgiving, obviously with everything going on, it was kind of low key. It was just immediate family only, which was fun. Took a couple photographs, not many. We had some fun. Definitely tried to keep everybody company and all that good stuff. Yeah, it was nice and quiet. My brother and his partner were not there, which is fine. They did, however, go to the next thing I want to talk to you about, which is called which we call in our family Pie Day. It's essentially, well, Pie Day, where everyone brings pie, we eat a lot of leftovers from Thanksgiving, etc. I I didn't go, mostly because MTI had to work and I just didn't feel like it. Didn't really feel right going without him. Anyway, they did seem like they had some fun. I'll put a photo in here from my mom, who she decided she was going to put it on Facebook. So fair. And I did ask her permission. So there's that. The last thing that I need to talk to you guys about is the whole Instagram hashtag thing. I have mentioned this in the Discord thread. I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned it anywhere on Facebook, but on Instagram, obviously with Instagram and Facebook actually also trying to cut down on the number of misinformation and stuff from the election, yada yada yada. I have not been able to grab the photos from Instagram to put them into like a slideshow, spoiler, that I've been working on behind the scenes. However, I am able to see all the current works in progress and FOs that everyone puts on hashtags on my phone because it's so old. I'm putting up a couple photos of basically what I see on my phone. When it comes to grabbing said photos, though, I have to go onto my desktop to do that, and when you do that, you see what I'm going to show you on the screen. So yes, I do encourage everyone to put in their FOs on Instagram if you would like to keep using the hashtags. I will see them. Whether or not I'm able to grab them and move them over to the Discord board is another story altogether. Anyway, hope you like that rant. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. I need to grab another quick cup of because I finished mine already. I will see you in the next segment. The more you know. Okay, you guys. Like I mentioned at the top of the episode, I have a lot to talk to you about in this segment. A few big announcements coming on. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is actually the episode 100 celebration that I kind of popped in with Discord with kind of randomly. You know me, I don't do things by half. I want to celebrate the fact that you've all come back well, at least 99 episodes now, and enjoy the episodes, I'm hoping. For this particular week, which is actually going to be the first week in January, which I'm going to double check for you. The dates on that one will be from the 4th through the 8th. I'm going to have videos and things that I'm going to be putting up throughout the course of that whole week. Yes, I've been planning this for a while. In terms of the Monday day, I'm actually going to do several videos. I've already been planning those. They'll be released on Monday. I was also thinking that I was going to do a live premiere on that one, but I am not too sure. It might be a little bit later. As also on top of that, that day, I'm actually going to be recording the 100th episode live via a Zoom call. I may also try to do it via the Facebook group or even through Discord as well, just to kind of see if we can get as many people in as we possibly can, but it's no big deal, I think. I'm hoping. I'm starting the Zoom call itself at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on January the 4th. I pretty much anticipate this entire process to take me over 4 hours or some odd change anyway. It's basically, I break down the whole episode normally into different segments. So yeah, I have a lot of talking that I do in between segments that I usually cut out of the podcast that's not pertinent to each of the segment, but some of the stuff I say to myself is either swears or, quite frankly, I crack myself up. Lots of dad jokes, that kind of thing. If I do say so to myself, probably comedic gold too, but anyway, I feel like it should be recorded on some level. I know a lot of that Zoom call will be a lot of me staring at the screen and yelling at Audacity, which is the program that I use to record, and the editing software that I use to edit the video portion of the show. Yeah, I anticipate a lot of that. I do that every time I record, don't know why. Honestly, I'm gonna say if you do decide to join me, that's fine. There's no need to stay in the call the entire time. If you happen to hop in late, that is completely fine. Like I said, I will have a filter in the meeting room for the Zoom call that will allow me to accept those that want to come in later on. I'll probably do that right between the segments and during like any breaks I may have to take while editing, as I probably head to the loo and get some snacks several times, because quite frankly, I get a bit snacky when I edit all the audio and stuff. I don't know why, and quite frankly, Anyway, don't worry if you do have stuff to do and you can't be there the entire time. I understand. Trust me, I get it. I will also be releasing a full behind the scenes video later on in the week, so that way if you'd like to go ahead and just watch the whole thing, that's up to you. The entire video isn't going to be the entire time that I'm recording. I'm also going to try to edit that just a little bit too, basically for brevity of time. I might see if I can kind of speed up some of the video. I don't know, that's something I'm going to play with later on. If you'd like to go ahead and join in the Zoom call or anything like that, just please, you can go ahead and PM me on Discord. You can also comment me on the Facebook post that I'm going to be putting in the group. Or if you'd like to, you can actually just email me directly at silverstreamline@gmail.com. I actually will send you the meeting room and the password that way as well. If I do decide to do a Facebook group call or even via Discord, I will mention that in the Monday thread for episode 100 in the Discord group and on Facebook. Okay. The next thing that and also for Tuesday of that week, I'm going to be putting up obviously the Q4 wrap-up video and the 2020 yearly along and other stuff for the Great Podcast Craft Together. It's a lot of roundup, a lot of work. I'm actually working on that right now, if I'm going to be completely honest. It takes a while. On Wednesday, I am actually going to go ahead and put a video whereby we celebrate everyone in the community. I call this Community Togetherness Day. I want to highlight the entire community for this, and to this end, I'm actually going to need your help with this. I am planning on making a video that includes everyone's favorite FOs or whips for the past year or so, or anything. You're allowed to include up to 5 of each if you would like to. You can send me anything via video, audio. Like I said, you can use Audacity to record your voice. It's up to you. Or if you have like a voice app on your phone, you can send it that way. If you actually reach out to me via DM on Discord, or you can actually even send me via email as well. I'm hoping to start collecting those and actually finish collecting those actually by Sunday, January 3rd. These you can either video or audio, whatever you would like to say, you can as well. If there's anything that you'd like to talk about with the community members, like topics you want to talk about, just, same. It's your space, essentially. I'm going to allow each video or audio clip to be upwards of 10 minutes. So yeah, I love hearing from you all. Just let me know what you'd like. As to Thursday, that's when I am planning for episode 100 to go live. I know all the editing will hopefully be done by the end of Monday, but I wanted to give the 100 episode its due and giving it a live premiere and all that. Every episode I'm going to do a live premiere at about noon Eastern Standard Time to give, say, the West Coast some time to wake up and for everyone else around the world to still kind of be awake to do that. Yay. And also on Friday, I'm going to put up the behind the scenes episode that day. So that's going to be a large video. I'm also, again, going to be doing a live premiere for that one. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Okay, the next announcement actually has to do with the Inquiring Minds Want to Know thread. It's basically my version of the any questions thread that a lot of people have on their podcast nowadays. I honestly don't mention this as much as I probably should. I would love to hear from you guys. Like I said before multiple times, if there's any questions you would like to ask me, please feel free to go ahead. There's a thread on Discord. I'm going to put something on Facebook hopefully later today if I remember. Let me write a reminder for myself, actually. Let me put down my tea so I can do it. Now to find a pen. I have a mess. If you can't see it or anything like that, but I have a mess of everything. There you are, pen. Ha! Of course. You're behind the hand sanitizer, as you should be. Okay. Now that I made a note about that, let's talk Cal breakdown. All right. We have 2 no Cals and 1 that you already know about. The first along that I'm going to discuss is what I'm calling Stripe Along 2021. A bit of details, there are 3. I have actually realized that I am down to 3 more skeins of Desert Vista Dye Works, like their stripey yarn, but I have so many other stripey yarns that I've gotten throughout the year. I probably think I have a full year left of stripies if I continue to knit a pair a month. I have decided we're going to have an along for that. This is basically for any projects. Any projects that have striping in it whatsoever. Like I said, this will be an all year along. I'm going to be using the hashtag SDL Stripe Along 2021 on social media. The rules are simple. Everything that you do finish in 2021 with stripes will count. You must be a member of the Silver Streamland Discord or Facebook groups. If you don't use either, please just make sure that you use the hashtag. And if you want to, you can @ me on Instagram. I am actually Silver's Knitting. This way, I know to count your projects for this along. I'm going to be putting a notation with the post number, whatever, once you finish the FO. And then that way you know what number you are, and that would be fair for the random number at the end of the year. Just so you know, any color work, any Fair Isle, stranded color work, double knitting, and intarsia, all of those are going to count as long as the colors that you use in any of those are bright and colorful. So for example, my gray double knit scarf won't count. But you can if you would like to, but obviously I can't really qualify for prizes, so there's that. A few notes for this along. You can actually enter your project multiple times. Unlike the other ones that I've done in my group, you can actually do that. There's actually no need to enter the FOs multiple times once you do, but as long as you notate how long it took you to complete each project, I'm actually going to comment with the post numbers for you, so that way it's all there and it's counted. Basically, if you started and finished the project anytime in 2021, you can actually enter your FOs 2 total times. However, if you started it and finished it within 6 months' time, that's actually 3 total times that you can enter it. If you started it 3 months, you can do it 4 times. If it takes you 2 months, 5 times you can enter it. Or if you started and finished it in that same month, you can actually enter your project 6 times. Yes. I kind of find this funny. I like this. It's so much fun. Now, just be aware, even if you had this thing on your needles or in hooks for so long, you started before 2021, that you can still enter it. No worries. Honestly, right now, I literally have just started to put this along together, so I don't have any prizes in mind. However, if anyone does wish to donate any prizes, you can go ahead and message me on Discord. Again, I am SilverD and then the hashtag 8858 on Facebook, or you can actually email me directly at silversdreammail@gmail.com if you'd like to donate those prizes. But I do have a couple that might be in mind. We'll see. Anyway, the next song I'm going to talk about is what I'm calling Dream Along 2021. Okay, like most people around the world, I've actually been literally dreaming of saying goodbye to 2020 something fierce lately. In an effort to literally dream 2020 away, I thought I'd host a new along all of 2021, where I finally cast on projects that I've been dreaming about starting. I've also been literally dreaming about finishing projects that I've had on the needles for a long time. To this end, the Dream Along 2021 was born. Like I said, this is actually going to go all year. I'm going to be using hashtag SDL Dreamer Along, which is DREAMERALONG 2021 on all social media. The rules for this one are simple. Everything that you do finish in 2021 will count. Just so you know, you do need to be a member of the Silver's Dreamland Discord or Facebook groups. If you don't do either, like I mentioned before, please make sure you use the hashtag and at me on Instagram. I am at Silver's Knitting. And this way I can count your projects for this along. The main idea that I had for this long is to start or finish things that have been in your queue, whether you've had them in your UFO bin for a while, or things that you've been dreaming of making in your queue and just have not gotten up the gumption to do so before. I'm looking at you, Even Star. However, anything you finish in 2021 will count for this along. Okay. As with the last along, you can enter your project multiple times. If you notice, like I said, it is actually based on the length of time that the project has been in your queue or on your needles. There is no need, again, to enter your FO multiple times as long as you notate in your post that you put up how long it's been marinating. I will go ahead and comment the correct post numbers for you, which is great. So if you did start or have had this project in your queue for more than a year, you can enter it twice. If you've had it going for 2 years or more, that's a total of 3 times. 3 years, also 4 times. 4 years or more can be up to 5 times. If you've had it for 5 years, you may actually enter it up to 6 times. So if you've had it in your queue or actually on your needles and hooks for more than 10 years, also known as longer than I've been on Ravelry, you may actually enter your FOs 10 total times. I think I had one project that fit the category and I kind of ripped it recently, but anyway, again, I literally just thought of this along, so I don't have any prizes in hand as of right now. I do have a few that are in mind. However, if anyone wishes to donate any prizes, just please, like I said, message me on Discord. Again, I am SilverD, DEE, then the hashtag 8858 on Facebook, or you can actually even email me at silversdreamland@gmail.com. Let's talk the great podcaster Craft Together. The Craft Together actually started on January 1st and does end on December 31st. All right, so for this one, it's actually using hashtag TGPIL2020 on Instagram and everywhere. Rules are simple. You must actually be a member of the Silver Stream and Discord group. If you choose not to use Discord or anything like that, you can use the hashtag on Instagram. You could also put your photos directly into our Facebook group. I do have a post there where you can comment your FO photos. I will be sure to grab FO pictures from that thread throughout the year as well. I'll be using the same type of numbering system that we used to use on Ravelry, such as I'll be using post number whatever as a comment on Facebook or even in Instagram as well. Or I'm going to put a little edit to your reply to your post on Discord, and you'll know which FO post you will be. I do want to make this as transparent as I possibly can. For this along, there isn't a minimum yardage goal, so have at it. So you know single socks do count, unless of course you finish the pair. Then each pair will only count once. Sorry. Any project that you finish in 2020 will count. All finished projects will count. I just ask that you post before and after photos. Let's say, poly dipping is allowed and even encouraged. If you do wish to share other alongs that you enter, that would be awesome. This way we can actually participate in those alongs as well, depending on those other rules. Now, in the case of scrappy blankets, one stripe or one square will count as an FO in this context, because quite frankly, who isn't working on some kind of scrappy blanket or 2 or 3 or more, in my case, and those things take a long time, right? Okay, let's talk prizes. Okay, so this year I'm going to be giving away 4 total copies of My Proud to Be Me or Wizarding Worlds horror patterns. It's going to be 1 per quarter. These actually will be sent direct PDFs here or via email. That will be your choice. And by here I do mean through direct message. A free pattern from Java Pearl Designs will actually be given away per month, so a total of 12. Again, these are going to be sent direct PDFs via email. Like I said, just please go to www.javapearldesigns.com and choose which pattern you would like if you win, and I will actually send it to you either via DM or email as soon as possible, because we do have to have that. That'll be coming directly from Java Pearl Designs. A $10 gift card to the wool warehouse in your area, such as Webs, etc., depending on where you are in the world. This is basically in place of the weekly pattern prizes I used to do on Ravelry. These will be sent out to everyone at the end of the year, just in case there are multiple times that an individual wins. This way the winners can make one purchase instead of multiple, stuff like that. Okay, so the little contest we used to do for every 50 FOs for this along, I'm no longer going to be giving away patterns on Ravelry for the reasons I have mentioned multiple times. Sorry, I still can't in good conscience spend any money on that site. Okay, so from Desert Vista Dye Works, we do have 3 different colorways from her. On her Visa base, we do have neon cotton candy. We also do have Somebody Need Some Courage. And on her Zen or Sparkle base, it is the Mother of All Somebody Queens, which is an 8-striper. All these 3 are absolutely gorgeous. I've been looking at them all year long, you guys. So jealous. Anyway, from Nice and Knit, we do have 2 colorways on their fingering base. The first one is called Sand Dollar. And the second one is called Times Square. Has lots of different colors in it. Oh, it's gorgeous. I can't stop looking at them, you guys. I literally bring them next to me when I record, if you're wondering. From New England Yarn and Spindle, it's actually a donation from them directly, which is my LYS. I'm going to be linking them in the show notes if you would like to go ahead and see what they have available. I was donated a skein of Sweet Georgia yarns in the Rainbow Sprinkles colorway. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Okay. And finally, we do have a gold needle organizer from Knit Picks. So I want to say congratulations to everyone that entered FOs in November. You ready? Congratulations must go to Cindy, Emily, I Now Hour, Linda, Meditative Crafter, Nicole S, and VT Kimmy Kim. So congratulations everyone for all your wonderful FOs this month. Okay, let's talk most loves. Now, like I mentioned many times, with the changeover from Ravelry, things for this category have changed a bit. I have been continuing to love each and every project that has been entered into along. This does include on Facebook, on Instagram, and in the new Discord server. I have put up a thread in Discord for those who wish to continue playing for honorable mentions there on Discord as well. If you'd like to go ahead and play along, please follow the hashtag TGPAL2020 hashtag on both Instagram and the Facebook group to vote for your favorite FOs from November, which were posts number 680 to number 726 before 1/1. Now, on both Facebook and Instagram, all you need to do is hit the love or heart reaction buttons. On Discord, you only need to add a reaction to the post that you are voting for. Or specifically, now that I've put my heart eyes reaction on each one, all you need to do is click that little icon and it will take a tally of the votes that way too. I find that personally easier, but quick note, please make sure you go ahead and also vote for your favorites from December by 1/1, as that is actually when I'm going to be trying to close the threads and start awarding prizes. And also get ready for the Q4 and wrap-up posts. The winners from here on out will be given a $10 gift card to their local wool warehouse. Wow, okay. The winners from here on out will be given a $10 gift card to their local wool warehouse. And as is the case, I'm actually going to be awarding these by the end of the year. I do ask that you send me an email at silverstream@gmail.com with the warehouse you'd like the gift card to be through, and if you prefer it now or at the end of the year. At this point, it's going to be at the end of the year, because December, y'all. All right, what you're here for, right? The prize winners. Okay, these were taken from post number 3 to 725, even on Ravelry. I'll notate that. The winner of this month's Java Pearl Designs winner is post number 236, who is D-Door4 on Ravelry. Congratulations. If you can actually just send me an email at silverstream@gmail.com with which pattern from Java Pearl Designs you would like, I'll have her send it to you via email, as I no longer use Ravelry. So, okay. For the $10 gift card, this is for post number 602, who is I now our. So if you can either DM me or send me an email, I will go ahead and send it over to you. For the most loves from October, this was actually post number 638 to 679. Of all those posts, the most love had 5 loves. This was over on Discord, actually. This winner was VT Kimmy Kim, so congratulations. Okay, and the voters from October. Now, with everything all told, all people that voted across all social media platforms in Discord, I have actually put given everyone a number and a list, and actually put those numbers into random.org. So, random.org's pick for this month was number 1, who is actually Nicole S. So congratulations. If you guys can go ahead and give me your choices for whole warehouses, etc., over via DM, direct messages on either Facebook, even on Discord, or you can send me an email at silverstream@gmail.com. Okay, as you can probably tell, my voice is a little hoarse after this section. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick drink, and we will move on to the next segment. All right, we have come to the end of the road. I'm pretty social. You can find me on our Discord board, which is Silver Streamland Podcast. There on Discord, I am SilverD, hashtag 8858. There. On Facebook, Silver Streamland can be found at www.facebook.com/groups/Silver Streamland Podcast. Yes, I know when you do a search for Silver Streamland Podcast, there are 2 that come up, a group and a page. If you follow the group for all episodes and along updates, you can also follow the page if you want to. I don't care. A note about the Facebook group, you do need to enter 3 questions, as I'm trying to keep spammers out of the group. First question, what episode am I up to? Well, today is episode 99. Second question, what is the name of Silver's son? Mario the cat / Mario. If you don't remember those answers, that's fine. Just note this in your answers. Chances are you'll be in, but you do need to read the group rules and hit agree. That's the the rules are really simple and absolute in my eyes when you answer the questions. You just have to agree to be nice. Basically, when episodes go live, the notifications may actually bounce onto that page as well. On Instagram, I am actually still at Silver's Knitting. That has changed to match with my Twitter, which is also at Silver's Knitting. So you know, I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silverstringlet@gmail.com. As always, everything that I do talk about can be found in the show notes at www.silverstreamingpodcast.com. I also will put a little bit less juicy show notes down in the information below. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to hit subscribe and hit that bell down below. This way, people can actually find me in my little corner of YouTube. That, and you can also see when I post videos. Okay. I have rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can even start your own directly on the Silver's Dreamland Discord board, or even on in the Facebook group. I don't bite, I promise. If you are feeling generous, please click that like button below this video. It really helps my channel out. So, please stay tuned for episode 100 next month. Until next time, happy crafting!